Oh, sure. Hey, Dr. Collier. Dr. MJ Collier. We got the one and only Dr. MJ Collier, HBCU Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated with our COVID-19 update. What up?
Good morning, Rickey Smiley, and good morning to all of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show listeners. It's Wednesday, August 19th, and it's time for your coronavirus update. We now have come to 5.3 million cases in the United States after adding another 60,000 today. And we were just talking about the milestone of 170,000. Now we're already at 172,000 after adding 12,000 deaths yesterday. So again, the disease progresses. We still have no viable treatments. The only thing you can do is protect yourself by boosting your immune system. But now schools are open and the problem persists. Virtually every school that has opened has been challenged with not only students testing positive, but staff members, teachers, janitors, people in the cafeteria testing positive as well. And when that happens, they have to put those individuals in quarantine and those people that they have been in contact with for quarantine for 2 weeks. So the schools are opening and closing. They're going from in-person classroom back to online teaching. So this has been a problem. So this has created a situation, Rickey, where people are thinking outside of the box. Now, we spoke yesterday about the new saliva testing. That's one, very, very inexpensive and gets you very rapid results. So people thinking outside of the box are saying, okay, what is the problem? We can't test everybody. The ideal solution would be to test every student and every staff member every day. It's just been a logistical nightmare to do that. You just have not been able to do it up to this point. The test is too expensive. It's not enough tests to test everybody every day. The logistics of just testing, the things that I call bagging and tagging. Last night I was in my office at like 9 o'clock just putting specimens together to go to the lab. It was, after I finished seeing patients earlier that day. So it is really a problem. So now, guess what, Rickey? We take this new saliva test and we pool the testing. They call it front-end pooling. So imagine you have a classroom as the students come in. It could be elementary school. It could be colleges. Everybody spits into a bag, and you take that bag and you send it to the lab, and the next day you get the results of that lab. Now, the benefit of the pooling of the testing is if you do 10 students, if you do 100 students, if you do 300 students, a typical college classroom, then you send those specimens in, you still only use the reagents to do one test versus 300 tests, one bag and tag versus 300 bags and tags, and you get those results the next day. If anybody in that pool tests positive, you quarantine the entire class, and you don't know who the person was, so there's no social stigma to being the person that brought corona to the school, but you just know that there's a positive in that class, and you can stop that. So this is what the out-of-the-box is thinking about and where we're going to go with that.
All right, we got a few calls. You on with Dr. MJ Collier. Good morning.
Let me ask you this. You person, who got the money to pay for a swab test? We already dying hard now, trying to struggle to get these kids back to school and buying all these groceries and toilet paper. Now you talking about you want us to spend $100 to pay for a test? I mean, really?
Well, actually, the cost of the swab test is usually higher than that in most places. There are a lot of free testing sites. You can just go on the internet and ask for coronavirus free in my neighborhood or in your area, because there are a lot of people that are providing it for free. But this saliva test, again, cost expected to be probably less than $20 total. The test costs $10, so I would expect them to probably at least double the cost. So that'll make it reasonable to do it. Most people could come up with that. And insurances are covering it. If you are covered by health insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance, they are covering coronavirus testing. So that's not a problem.
All right, Dr. Collier, we're going to take some calls on the other side. If you got a question, you can call 8669-RICKY. We got Dr. MJ Collier giving us our coronavirus updates. We'll take your phone calls, some more phone calls up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, top of the hour, y'all. We got the one and only Dr. MJ Collier with our coronavirus updates. We got some phone calls. You on with Dr. Collier? Good morning.
Okay, my question to Dr. Collier is, how long does it take for the coronavirus to actually leave the body if you're overweight? Because some people test positive for the virus, and once it's over, they're negative. And so why do others stay positive even though they're out of their 14-day quarantine or 10-day quarantine?
Okay, it's thought that the virus is no longer viable after 10 days. That's why the CDC changed the criteria from 14 days to 10 days. A person can still test positive with a PCR test because it's very sensitive, and it will give you a result from basically dead viral particles. But active virus that allows you to transmit it is thought to be gone after 10 days.
All right. Okay, you on with Dr. M.J. Collier. Good morning.
I wanted to know if he would explain again how you're supposed to wear those masks and what's the difference between wearing the white side out and the blue side out.
Okay, good question. The idea now is to show your colors, so that protects you and those individuals around you. So whatever color the mask is, yellow, blue on the outside, you can do that. And those are usually the clinical type of masks that are disposable. But with the cloth mask that the majority of people are wearing, that really doesn't matter. But I remember you can still put a filter inside of it, and the filters are available online or on the internet. But you can also just use a coffee filter, which will give you ultimate protection.
On a maxi thin, they got the little sticky thing on there with the wings.
No, Ricky Smiley.
You can't use those?
No, you can't use those. Don't recommend it. But I do use them for wound
buying
dressing.
some Rely. Sir, why are you buying this? For my mask.
For my coronavirus mask. It's a bit too thick to breathe through as well, but I do use them as wound dressings because they're very good at, absorbing, blood and stuff from an open wound or a surgical position. So they're good for that. So remember your 3 C's: closed spaces, close contact, and avoid crowded places when you're talking about coronavirus. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and watch your distance. Of course, this is the opinion of Rickey Smiley and not Dr. M.J. Collier in reference to mask wearing. But for all those medical opinions, those are opinions of Dr. M.J. Collier, not those of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show or its radio affiliates. Remember to take your vitamin D 5,000 international units per day and zinc up to 30 milligrams per day to boost your immune system against bacteria, viruses, and fungal infections. Rickey Smiley, it's Wednesday.
Hey, man, hey, Dr. Carr, just hang up the phone, man. Go on, man.
Backing the wounds up.
I can't talk to you, man. Just hang up the phone. He funny and don't even know it, man. That's a crazy one. 2 minutes. Thank you, Dr. M.J. Collier. All right, y'all. Gary, what you got coming up next?
Coming up next, y'all, actor Cuba Gooding Jr. He's in the news again. I'm going to tell you what's happening with him next.